Hello children, welcome back to the literacy class. So today we are going to read a passage from the A to Z book again. So the title of this book is Helen Keller. Okay, so you can see a beautiful lady on the cover page. So she is Helen Keller. So let us explore something about her. Okay. Imagine not being able to see or hear. How would you learn about the world around you? How would you learn to communicate? You would face many serious challenges, wouldn't you? So, the author is asking us, imagine, you need to imagine if suppose we can see and hear, right? We can see and hear and feel everything. So, as shown in this picture, imagine if you are inside a dark room, okay? And you cannot see. Obviously, if you are in a dark place, you cannot see. And imagine that you cannot hear anything. Whatever I am speaking, whatever anybody else is speaking, you are unable to hear. How would you feel? If you are unable to speak and you are unable to hear and unable to see, how would you communicate? What would you do? What are the things that you can do? Okay, so if that is your problem, if that is someone is going through, like if they are not able to see, they are not able to speak, they are not able to hear, how do you think they can speak to us or communicate? How do you think they can share their ideas with us? It will be very difficult, isn't it? So Helen Keller is such a person we are going to read today about. Okay, these are the challenges Helen Keller faced more than 100 years ago. So the author is telling us the things that we discuss now, like the disability of being unable to see and hear. That is, she cannot see and she cannot hear. That is what the author is telling us. And it happened 100 years ago. This is not just a story, it is real. Okay, this is real. When she was born on June 27, 1880, in Tuscumbia, Alabama. This is a place where she was born. Helen could see and hear. So, when she was born as a baby, she was very healthy and she could see like others and she could hear like others. When she was 19 months old, she became ill and had a very high fever. So, when she was about 1.5 years of age, when she was still a baby, she got a fever, okay? And that fever was very high. And because of that fever, what has happened? She survived her illness. She was okay, but something she had to lost. What is that? She couldn't see and hear. That is blind. Blind means the people who cannot see, blind, and deaf, the people who cannot hear. So she survived her illness, means she didn't die because of that illness. But what happened? She had to lose her vision and the hearing. Okay. With time and teaching, Helen Keller would overcome her disabilities and become an inspiration to many people. So, as time passed, she became what? She became famous because of the things that she did. So, we are going to see what she did actually. Even though she couldn't see and hear, she did some miracles. So, that is what we are going to see today. Helen's early years, that means when she was a small kid. At the time when Helen was a small girl, people didn't know much about disabilities. So, at that time when she was born in 1880s and all, in those days, in olden days, people didn't know much about this. Like disability is nothing but unable to do something. Like if people don't, you would have seen many people like they cannot see, they cannot hear, they cannot speak. All these are called as disabilities. So, in olden days, people didn't know much about this. They didn't have any information about that. Not many teachers had tried to educate people who were both deaf and blind. So, if there is a child who cannot see and hear, in those days it was it was not practiced. Like teachers also didn't know how to teach such kind of kids. Nowadays there are many different schools, special schools for teaching the children with disabilities. So in those days there were no things like that. So it was very difficult in those days to learn something. Only a few children like Helen around the world had learned to communicate. So, Helen was one among the few children where she was able to communicate with others. Helen and her parents tried to work with her disabilities. Helen did not have rules to follow. At times, she seemed out of control. Her parents had little hope that Helen would lead the kind of life they had imagined she would. So, what they are telling is Helen and her parents, they tried a lot of things, even with her disabilities, okay, like adjusting with her disabilities. And even though she had disabilities, sometimes she went out of control, because she was very sad because of what had happened with her, and her parents also started losing hope, like giving up. Okay, she cannot do, I feel, what can we do? So at times they had a doubt that, when a child is born, every parent will have a dream for that child, like my child or my son or my daughter will be this in when she grows up or he grows up. So all the dreams they will have about their kids. The same way Helen's parents also had that kind of dream. But when she had this illness, when she had this fever, and she lost her vision and hearing, that is, when she became blind and deaf, her parents started losing hope, telling that we wanted her to become something, but we are doubtful about the same. Helen's parents grew more and more frustrated. So this word we have, or you know, learned in the passage "She Isn't Me," where those two girls were frustrated. Okay, that is the same word here also. Frustrated is something that they are unable to do something. They want to do it, but they are unable to do it. So Helen's parents, as days passed, they couldn't, bear with that. They were frustrated, like, my kid is not doing this, my kid is unable to do that, my kid is not like other children who can see and hear, what we can do, whether she will be able to do something in her life. So they had all these kinds of doubts, and they started to get frustrated. A friend of Helen's parents, Alexander Graham Bell, the man who invented the telephone, had an idea. So who is Alexander Graham Bell? He's nothing. He's the one who invented the telephone, the phone that were used in the olden days. From that only, now what we are using has come. Okay, that is called as evolution. So Graham Bell was none other than the family friend of Helen. Helen, that is Helen's parents' friend. Okay, so he had got an idea. He has seen this child, and he got an idea. So when Helen was about 7 years old, he suggested they hire a young woman to teach Helen. So hiring is nothing but to give a job to a young woman, okay, as a teacher to teach Helen. Understood? So but remember that in those days it was not, there was no such practices of teaching such kids, because there were no such resources, there were no such new things to teach children, and it was very difficult to teach such kind of kids with disabilities. So at that time also, Graham Bell had given an idea of hiring a young girl as a teacher to teach Helen. The young woman's name was Anne Sullivan. Helen's parents agreed to give it a try. From that day on, Helen's life changed. So now Helen's parents agreed to hire a teacher for Helen, and it was none other than Anne. Okay, we call her Anne, and her parents also agreed for this. And from that day onwards, her life started to change. Until then, her life was like, it was very difficult because of her disability. It seemed very difficult for her to lead a life, lead a positive life. So that was the reason where she went out of control because of the frustration. At first, Helen did not like Anne. Anne made Helen do things she didn't want to do. Anne made Helen eat from a plate, pick up after herself, and dress herself. Helen fought her, but Anne kept trying. So this is the picture of her teacher and Helen. This small girl is none other than Helen Keller, and this is Anne. So at first, when the teacher was introduced to her, Helen did not like her teacher at all. Seriously, she hated her teacher because Helen did not have rules in her life. As we saw, she was very much helped with all the things, thinking that she had a disability. Okay, even we do that when someone has some disability, we help them a lot, isn't it? But here, what Anne did to Helen was she made Helen do everything on her own. Even though she could not see, she made her do everything on her own, like eating from a plate and picking whatever she has dropped down, picking on her own, and then dressing up herself. So Helen, she used to fight with her teacher, but Anne, her teacher, didn't give up. Okay, she didn't give up at all. She kept trying and trying and trying. Anne knew that Helen could not see and hear, okay, but she knew that Helen had other senses. She could touch, smell, and taste. So there are five senses with us, isn't it? We have already been discussing about the sensory organizer, where we discussed all these five senses. So what are they? Seeing, hearing, touching, that is feel, smell, okay, and taste. So Helen did not have two senses. What are they? The ability to see and the ability to hear were not there for her. So, but her teacher thought that There are other three senses with her. She only lost her vision and the ability to hear, but she had other three senses. So Anne tried to teach something with those senses, and tried with her to use those senses to communicate. Anne began to teach Helen to use these senses to communicate and to learn about the world around her. Anne knew that Helen was very smart. She thought it would only take some time before Helen learned how to communicate. So Helen was not like a ordinary kid. Like, she didn't give up. Even she fought with Anne, her teacher. She tried a lot, and she started using her senses to communicate. Like, she started touching things and feeling them. She started tasting it. Okay, she started smelling it. Now you can see in the picture she's smelling a flower. So she can easily tell that it is a flower. Okay, because she went blind and deaf in the small age, very small age, she doesn't know many things around her. Okay, so this is how she started using senses to communicate. Anne thought about how she could teach Helen to communicate. She used Helen's sense of touch to teach her. Like I said you, she used to touch and feel things to learn something. Anne taught Helen sign language. So sign language is nothing but, you would have seen people, those who cannot speak, they will use sign language like A, C, all this. They use the hands, fingers to communicate with others. They form the alphabets using the hands. Okay, so this is how they do that. So Anne, what she did was, Anne is her teacher, who, what she did, she taught sign language. Now you may be wondering, she cannot see, how can she learn the sign language? Nothing but she used her hands to teach. Like, you can touch and feel it, right? So by that way she used. In sign language, people use their fingers to make words and letters. Okay, Anne began teaching Helen to spell words with her fingers. Anne would spell word into the palm of Helen's hand so that she could feel the words being spelled, since she couldn't see them. So when I speak, for example, when someone speaks to us, we always look at their lips, the movement of the lips. But since she could not see, now you may wonder, like, we can hear, so we need not see the lips. But sometimes when someone is speaking too fast to us, we are unable to understand what they are speaking. Obviously, it is our habit to look at their lips, how they are moving. Okay, but here Helen, she couldn't do that because she couldn't see. So what her teacher did, she started writing those words in her hands like this. Often we would play those games, isn't it, to turn, we would turn our friends and write something on their back and ask them to guess what did I write. The same way, and Helen's teacher also did the same thing. She started writing the things in her hands. Like, she started writing the words in her hands. So when you close your eyes and write something, you can feel those words. Okay, so the same way she also started communicating. For a long time, Helen didn't understand the finger game. It's a game actually. Anne played with her, but Anne did not give up. But even though, see, what happened is, Helen did not understand for a long time, because she was losing interest. Already their relationship was like a fight, like they had a fight between them, because she didn't like Anne making her doing such things. Okay, so because of that little hatred, she couldn't understand what she is able to, what are her abilities and what Anne wants her to do, because she didn't have interest in learning. So for a long time, Helen did not understand what she was writing in her palm, how it is done actually, what is that. So even though it was about to fail, Anne didn't give up. She still tried writing and writing and writing. One day at the water pump, which is sort of like a water fountain, and pumped water over one of Helen's hands. So one day what is happening, you can see in the picture, Anne is pumping water to Helen's hands. So she is holding her hands like this, you can see, and Anne is pumping the water. Then what she did, she used her fingers to spell water on Helen's other hand. Suddenly Helen became very still. So what happened? She Nothing but Anne, what she did, she used her fingers, okay, and she wrote water, Water, on her palm. On whose palm? Helen's palm. So she wrote that word water, the spelling of water, in Helen's palm. And what happened? The miracle happened here. Helen, she was quite surprised, and she didn't move for a long time, because let us see what is that. Helen got it. She understood. She finally realized what Anne was doing. So, why she was not moving? She was surprised because she understood what Anne was trying to tell her. Okay, so this is where she started understanding what Anne was writing into her hands. She realized that Anne was communicating with her. Now she understood that Anne is trying to talk to her through this game. Okay, Helen then used her fingers to spell water into the palm of Anne's hand. Now, what did Helen do? Helen, in return, she wrote the same word into Anne's hand. Next, Helen pointed to Anne and then to her own hand. Okay, she pointed to her hand and to her own hand. She spelled teacher. Okay, Anne spelled out the word teacher. From that day onwards, Helen called Anne as teacher. She didn't call her by name. She called her teacher. Then Helen had and spell out the names of other things around her. Now this is how they are writing developed. Now this is where she started to spell things. You can see it in the picture here below. So she is spelling something in her hand, and this is where she is able to understand what is happening, and she is able to communicate with others. Helen learned to spell words as quickly as Anne could teach them to her. Next, Anne taught Helen to use her sense of touch to read. She taught Helen to read books printed in Braille. So, Braille is nothing but it is a book. You can see the people who are unable to see, they read from a book where a language called Braille is used. It's a language in the sense there will be some holes in it. You can see it in the picture. It has got a raised dots. It will be a dot, and when they touch it, they can realize what is written in that. So now what did Anne do? Anne started teaching Helen to read those Braille language. Okay, so Braille uses raised dot instead of ink to make letters and words. See, there is no printed words and all. It's just a dot. Through dots they make some words. Helen learned to feel words. Now when you touch, again the sense of feel is there. So she started feeling and she started learning that language also. Helen also learned to understand what people were saying by placing her fingers on their lips. So now when people were speaking, I said that we sometimes some people use the lip reading technique. Now because she cannot see, what she did, she started touching the lips of people to understand what they are speaking actually. As people said different words, Helen could feel their lips change shape. Because she cannot hear also, she cannot see, she cannot understand what they are speaking. So she just touched their lips like this, and she started realizing, she started understanding what the person was telling. Because when we speak, our lips, it changes the shapes for different words. Once Helen learned to communicate, a new world opened up to her. She went to college and Anne went with her. So once she learned to communicate, once she learned to use the sign language, once she learned to use the braille language, and once she started to communicate, she started going to college, and her teacher also went with her. What she did, she, whenever the classes were going on, and used to write it in the Helen's hand to make her understand. Okay, and she started taking notes using the braille language, like putting dots and then writing the notes, so that Helen could read what was done in the class. Helen graduated with Anne's help, so she completed her education with whose help? With her teacher's help. Helen Keller spent most of her life traveling with Anne Sullivan. She gave many speeches and wrote books about her life. She proved to the world that blind and deaf people deserved respect. Helen overcame her disabilities and became an inspiration to people everywhere. So, Helen Keller, she had been traveling most of her life till she was dead. She used to travel a lot with her teacher, okay? And she gave many speeches and wrote many books, okay? And she said that she proved to us, she proved to the rest of the world that the people who are unable to do something, people who are born with disabilities, or if they have some disabilities in their life, they really need to be respected. We are not supposed to tell that you have disability, you cannot do this. There is nothing like that. Disability is only with your physical appearance. Your heart, your mind is still able to work. So she proved that you can do anything in this world if you have the will to do it, if you have the interest to do it. Okay, and Helen was a risk taker, and she overcame all her disabilities, and she became an inspiration to people everywhere. Okay, this is her image. This is a picture when she was 87 years old. She died on June 1, 1968. Okay, so I need to ask you three questions. Okay, now that you are clear with Helen Keller and her life, what would have been happened if Helen's parents didn't have any hope on her? Now at the starting itself, I have shared that Helen's parents started to lose hope. But what if they lost the hope forever? Would she be able to reach her, reach the point where she was reached? Do you think that? I want you to answer this. And the next question is, would you think Helen would have faced success if she gave up? If she would have given up, telling that I don't want to learn from Anne and I don't want to do anything in my life, would she have faced success? What would have happened if Helen did not find a teacher like Anne? So, if there was no teacher like Anne, such a dedicating teacher, she has spent her whole life in teaching, Helen and traveling with Helen. So, what if there was no such teacher in her life? Will she be facing success? I want you people to answer for all these three questions. Now, this chapter tells us that perseverance leads to success. It's nothing but, if you have the disability, if you feel that you cannot do something, just don't give up. Just try, and try. Definitely, you will face success. So, that's all for today. I hope you would have understood the passage. So, read it again and again. I'm going to post this in the Google Classroom, and later on, you need to reflect on your understanding using the detail chart. That's all for today. Take care. Bye.